Not yet.
So it's going to pop up in
Live stream. Yep. Let me turn the volume down on this. We are live right now inside of the Facebook group and on YouTube. I am Barbara Carr with Fuse Empire, and today I am here with a wonderful woman who has so much to share with you guys. I'm here with Kim Hall, and she represents the company ServingYOU. Kim, welcome.
Hi, Barbara. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Let me give a little bit of backstory to any of the viewers that we have right now so that they know a little bit about how much I adore you before we jump into asking some questions. I'm going to pay attention to the live stream to see if anybody has questions specifically for you. But first, I want to tell people how great Kim is. I met Kim years ago. It had to be a decade ago, I'm sure. And, when I first met Kim, it was actually through a third party. And in fact, Kim, I don't even know if you remember this story, but Kathy Sipple came to me and said, I know another virtual assistant. At the time, I was getting into virtual assistants, and at the time, Kim was exiting virtual assistant world. And so Kathy said, I know somebody who has some material that you could use in your virtual assistant business if you want. It was like resume paper and nice envelopes, just different things like that. Do you remember that, Kim?
I do kind of remember that.
Yeah, and so at first I didn't know who Kim was, but when Kathy said, "Hey, could you use this stuff?" and I thought, well, yeah, I'm just starting my business. Of course, I could use anything, any kind of help anyone could give me, and so Kathy delivered the stuff. I didn't get a chance to meet Kim there at that time, but shortly after that, I met Kim I believe it was at one of Rick Gosser's networking meetings, wasn't it?
It was.
Yes. And one of the things I remember about Kim after I met her, because if you've ever been to Rick's meetings, you know that he pulls a good crowd, right? Like there's a lot of people there. And so you leave and it's like, okay, who did I actually connect with? Who do I want to stay connected with? And you've got to really have a mindful thought of that, because otherwise you may just get wrapped up and there are so many options. So one of the things I remember about Kim is how sweet is that woman? And when I first met her, I didn't put two and two together until after I went home, and I said, I wonder if that was the same Kim Hall who gave me all those materials. And then I realized it was. But I remember that what stood out to me was that Kim was so sweet. She was so genuine, and she was so giving. Again, once she realized that I was starting a new business, she just gave me tips and tips and tips. And I was like, wow, this is like a godsend, somebody who's exiting the world I'm entering, and you could learn from that person. And so it was just fantastic to have known Kim over all these years. Since then, we've both grown so much. We've grown in the Lord, and we've grown in our businesses, and we've gotten, grown in our personal lives. We've done so much, and it's nice to still have this wonderful connection with a godly woman. So Kim, I'm so grateful to call you my friend.
Oh, well, thank you, Barbara. I had forgotten about that connection with Kathy, but yes, she was a sweetie too to even think about that and put the two of us together. And
She
of course,
definitely was.
And Rick's events were just phenomenal. He still does stuff like that for people, which is great. But that's how I felt about you when I met you. You were quite young, and I think I even told you, your face is so young, you look younger than you are.
Yeah.
And you still have that young face, which is good. Hold on to that.
Thank you.
But what I liked was that you were determined. You were going to make this work. You were starting in a new business. And I love to hear people's stories and to see where they come from and where they're going. And you definitely had direction and still do. As a matter of fact, you're kind of the driving force in that group that we're in.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. That's very sweet of you. So today's call or video is is all about Kim. And I call this my student spotlight. This is something that the students of my marketing group get access to. So I have a group on Facebook called Tools, Tips, and Training to Grow Your Business. Kim has been one of the best students in that group over the past month and a half. And so I really want to spotlight who she is and what she does so that you can get to know her the way that I've been blessed to do so. So Kim, let's start with the basics. Who is Kim Hall as a person?
Wow. That could cover a lot of ground, but we'll be succinct here. Um, I love the Lord. I've got to say that first and foremost. And I believe that, and that's not to offend anyone, but that I believe is the driving force behind everything that I do. I used to compartmentalize. So I had God on Sundays at church, and, my business was different, my work was different. But then I realized that that's not really the way a relationship with the Lord is designed to be. So I started incorporating, and I don't do it completely. I'm not the best at it all the time, but I do try to focus on that all the time. So I am a daughter of the King first and foremost. Of course, I'm another daughter too. My parents are no longer here, but I miss them dearly, and they were great role models for me. I'm a wife. My husband, and a lot of people have heard my videos about him with his internet grandpa stuff. So on YouTube. I am a mom. I have 3 kids. They're wonderful. And I have 2 in love kids and 1 soon to be in love kid. And I call them kids because they're younger than me. They're about half my age, so they're younger than me. But they're my children, and I love them dearly. And our daughter is still here. She's getting married in August, but the 2 boys are married, and they each have 3 children. So I am a Grams. And I have to say that being that Grams just warms your heart more than nobody. If you haven't been there yet, when you get there, you understand what I'm saying. But it is like having your kids on steroids, just, it's that feeling of awe that
You
God
know,
blessed you with this.
Kim, my mom, when I became a mother, every time I'd come to her house, the first thing she'd say is, "Where's the babies?" And I would think, I'm right here. Like it was like not about me anymore.
Right.
And at one point, she actually told me, "The only reason I had you kids is so that I could have grandkids someday." And I was like, "What?" Of course, she loved us very dearly and was a wonderful mom.
Still
But
does.
but I understand what you're saying. When the kids come around, when the grandkids come around, the kids aren't quite as exciting anymore.
Yes, it's just like a different light bulb that goes on in the Grams or grandma, and grandpa too. So
Yes.
it's one of those blessings that you've got to be thankful for. You just never know what life is going to bring you. And I am thankful for that, definitely.
Good. Good. So you are a pretty well-rounded person. You've got God first, you've got your family, and then you're also a career woman. And so I love how well-rounded that you are. And like you said, you've been able to pull it all into prioritizing it properly, right? Where it used to be compartmentalized. And I know that that was something I was guilty of at the early onset of my journey with Jesus as well. And most of my viewers know how much I love Jesus. And so I love when I have other people on here who are also believers. I really love to be able to share that with the viewers. All right, so we have a few people, we have several people watching the live stream
Oh,
right now. A couple of
hi.
comments I have Patty Condran Rusin that says, "Kim is the best networker I have ever met. She is definitely the go-to person for anything you may need." And
Oh,
then
thank you.
Lesta is praising you for saying God first. And Marie says, "Kim, you're an amazing person and friend." And then Phyllis is
Oh,
so blessed to have you as her friend as well. So for
oh.
those of you who are watching, you've heard a little bit about who Kim is as a person, and you've heard many people say how great Kim is. So let's jump into the next aspect of life, business. So Kim, tell us a little bit about what you do for business and how long you've been doing it and how you got there.
Okay. And first, shout out to everybody out there, and thank you. Nothing like putting pressure on. No. Um, for my business, again, I had to look at what I was doing, and I'm serving you the Halls Enterprises. And the reason is I believe we're put on earth to serve one another, to help one another. So that's my focus. I growing up with my kids, you wanted to stay home, or I did. And I was very blessed to be able to, and I worked in several different direct selling companies at that time. Plus I did the virtual assistants, and I baked for people, I cooked for people, tried cleaning homes. That was not for me. It was like, no, let's not go that route. But you've got to find what you're good at, what inspires you, what you feel like your purpose is. And I'm still searching for that. But the one thing that I did notice was that um, I really like helping people find solutions. So when my friend came to me, and she was involved with Amway, and that's the company that I work with and all the different companies underneath there. But when I did that, I basically felt that I needed to be service minded instead of just selling products. Because I had sold products before, and that wasn't my goal. My goal was to help people find solutions. So what I did was I developed a concierge. Well, that was quite by accident, so I won't say I developed it, but I helped a friend, a customer, get some things, and she named me a concierge. So that's how the Serving You, um, the Halls Enterprises came about. But I love the fact that the company was based on organic, having their own farms, growing their own plants. I love the fact that it was an answer to a question that my uncle had posed to me back when I was like 16 years old and I started taking supplements. So it was, it seemed to be a good fit. And it was a nice way to help my friend also. And I still love being with her as well.
Fantastic, Kim. And how long have you been doing Amway?
I've been working with the company since 2004. I was sick for a few years after that. So basically, just what they call prosume, you buy the products at wholesale price. Did not do anything with the business at that time. Started about 8 years ago, developing clients and helping clients, and then now into team building.
That's fantastic. And so your concierge service, I know that you just touched on it a little bit, but explain that to people because I'm a busy mom, right? And that right as soon as you say that, it sounds appealing to me. Explain to me who that would be good for and what that actually is.
Actually, the busy mom, the busy professional or caregiver families are my focus, because you are busy. And it would be nice to have someone come alongside you and take something off your plate, like some of your shopping. So, because we have 350 different products that are healthier choices, but we have everything from toothpaste, shampoos, to skincare, to supplements. That's the company that really has my heart. To green cleaning products for the home, and also to, we have partner stores, cookware, air purification, and water purification. So we have a full gamut of products. But because of that, we are able to set orders up to come when people need them. So if you need detergent for your home, laundry detergent, you have a family of 5 and you need that, every month. You can get that every month. If you need your supplements every month, if you need your skincare every 2 to 3 months, we can set those up on a schedule. There's no membership, which is nice. So we do actually have clients. And you don't have to be a member. You can if you choose to. But I like the fact serving the clients. And in doing that, I sit down and I offer a complimentary shopping analysis to see what people are using already, because these are products that most people already use. And then from there, we're able to say, okay, are you set on this brand? And if you are, that's great. And if not, if you're willing to look at a different brand, let's try these 180-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee. And if I have samples, that's what I love to do too. I love to treat people to samples. And that was my maiden name. So,
What was your
I'm,
maiden
I'm
name?
tying it all together.
Was your maiden name Samples?
It was.
Really? Oh
I
my
got
goodness.
teased. I
That's
got
something I didn't know.
I got
You were,
teased on that a lot.
oh, well, you were married well before I ever met you, so I didn't have a clue what your maiden name was. That's interesting to know. A tidbit about Kim Hall. So Kim, you mentioned earlier that like you don't have to belong to a membership to be able to get these discounted prices. And I know that with network marketing companies, a lot of times you have to buy a minimum of number of products or prices per month if you want to build the business. So let's move it from the customer side to, if somebody wants to build a business like what you're doing, is there a minimum amount of stuff they have to sell or buy every month?
There is not. If you want to get to your bonuses, they have guidelines on that. And yes, then there is a minimum of customer sales that you need in order to qualify for that. And also you have, um, I mean, you're going to be buying products for yourself anyway, but there is no minimum. There is nothing. We're not supposed to house things in our garage. That's a little contrary to what some people believe about direct sales. And I don't know all direct selling companies. I can only address the one I'm in. But I love the fact that they do give us that kind of freedom, that we don't have any minimums. When I was sick, I just bought what I needed for my home. A few people would say, "Oh, what are you using for this?" And they would buy. So I had a few customers, clients, but it wasn't any like they had to, like you have requirements for that. No, not at all.
Okay, and so I know that my family really loves the toothpaste that your company has.
You
In
said that.
fact, my oldest daughter will only use Amway's toothpaste. Like she won't use any other store-bought toothpaste, and so we are always getting our toothpaste through you because that is something that the family loves. And I know I've tried your tea. I love your tea. I've tried some of the snack bars that you guys have, the protein bars. Love those. In fact, I just recently added to my order some of the protein bars with you. But so tell us, I know you've been doing this for quite a while, and Amway has a lot of products. But if you had to tell us your top 3 products that you love the most of the company, what would those be?
My number one favorite, and this was from the very first time I ordered, was it's called Double X. And it was actually um, a little background with the company. Carl Renborg was a farmer in California, went to China to check the Chinese medicine journals because he wanted to know what are they doing there that are treating, that are, helping people and not just treating symptoms, which we had gone that route here. And they also wanted to know, why were they farming without pesticides? How were they doing that? So he brought all that information back, and he actually made, with the company then was California Vitamins. He made the first multi-mineral multivitamin in North America, and it was plant-based. So that's our Double X, because our owners were Nutrilite distributors first. When they started their own soap company, they eventually brought Nutrilite on and purchased that company. But Double X is my ultimate favorite because, and I have several customers that tell me they take it because they don't get sick as often. And so that's one of my favorites. That's my first favorite. The excess energy drinks. A lot of people are a little leery about energy drinks because of the caffeine and the sugar, but ours are primarily B complex vitamins. And I run low. I have since I was in my 20s on B complex vitamins. So that's probably my number 2 because it does, it helps me throughout the day. That number 3 slot's a little blurry because I really, I love the skincare and I love the cleaning products. So those are quite different. So I'll go with the skincare products because I do, tend to get some, people say, I can't believe you're as old as you are. And I really believe it's mainly the skincare products that help with that.
I can totally see that because I agree. You look way younger. I would not have guessed that you was a grandmother, right? So, but I get it because there are some products that definitely help with that anti-aging, and I know that Amway is a very reputable company. They've been around for decades, right? They've survived
60
some
years.
rough times, right? Including some declines in the economy, and so Amway is, they've been doing what they need to do to keep their people profitable, and their products of good quality, right? And so it's exciting that you're part of a company that is clearly sustainable, and that there's products that can be used and are effective, because you're right, your face, Kim, looks so young, so young. And I always, whenever I meet somebody who has a health products in their toolbox, let's call it, and their face looks so young, that's my first thought, that their products work, right? If you ever meet somebody who doesn't look quite as young, in fact, maybe they look more aged than they are, but they're selling health products, it makes you wonder if the health products are actually effective, because you don't know any better other than to see what they are looking like and what the products they sell. So when somebody from the outside is able to see that you look healthy, you look young, you look good, right? Whatever you're using must be working.
I appreciate that. I think it does. Everyone's circumstance is different, and I have seen some of those circumstances as well. I do know that I have a dear friend who is in a different health company, and but she was in the sun a lot when she was young. She was always sunbathing, so her face does look a little bit older. But I think since I've seen her, I see the contrast when she was before she used the products and now that she does. So sometimes it does help, but you just don't have that comparison. So
Yeah,
but so that's kind of nice to know too. Sometimes you got to
right.
ask them their story, but and I do like the fact that they keep up with different things. So for instance, they just came out with gummies, because millennials are known to prefer a gummy than a pill as far as a supplement.
Mhm.
So I love the fact that Amway looks at all those things, they research, we control our product from seed to serving. So they can do development, and we have our own farm, so they can do the development of those kinds of products and to stay, I won't say trendy, but to stay up to date with things.
Of course, and that's important. It's definitely important for business success. All right, Kim, I opened up in our live stream in the comments. I asked people if they had any questions for you.
Yeah.
Um, Dave asked, with coronavirus epidemic, what products are most popular right now to strengthen people's immune systems?
Well, I think in any kind of like flu season, what we have found in our company is we do have immune boost. Uh, we have twist tubes, so you twist them, they're liquid, they go into water. Now we do have, which is brand new, the new gummies. But those types of things, the vitamin C, most doctors will tell you to increase your vitamin C, your D. Echinacea has always been known as good for the immune system, garlic. So all of those types of supplements we have, and we do find a little more sales during the winter seasons on those types of products.
All right, perfect. And we have some people asking for your contact information in here, but I'm going to save that for the end of the call. Um, let's say all the time that you've been doing Amway, what has been one of your favorite experiences that you have gotten blessed to be able to be experienced with during your journey?
Well, there's two. I'll say briefly. I was able to, we do a presentation called Filling the Phytonutrient Gap. So that is, how many fruits and vegetables do you eat per day according to how many servings we're told to eat. And I did that at a senior center. And one of the gals afterward asked a lot of questions. And then at the end, she stated she used to be an Amway rep. So she's been a dear client of mine ever since then. But the thing that I really liked about that is she used the products 20 some years ago. And she still remembered, she lost contact with the person, but she still remembered that she liked them. She tried them again, still likes them. So she'll continue on with that because it's something she feels is a healthier choice for her. On the team building side, we had a team member who was way behind in a lot of debt. And one of the things that we do with our team building is to sit down with individuals and have them name their dollars. So whatever money's coming in for the month, you name what that is. And that's to be able to help you designate where everything is going, where your money's going. So through that process and a few other mentoring and coaching things that we do, more mentoring than coaching, that couple was able to get out of debt. So they did move on to a different home. They did downsize a little bit, which helped them with that, but they were able to get totally out of debt and actually have money in savings. And I appreciated that. It wasn't just me. I have other mentors that help with that. So I like that aspect of it, just helping people, finding solutions.
That's fantastic. Now, is that the way you guys do the naming the dollar? Do you use the Dave Ramsey system to kind of help with that?
We do. We direct them to the Dave Ramsey system. You're familiar with
I
that.
am.
Yeah, and it's a great system. So shout out to anyone that's listening, maybe that is in that position. That's a great, and he's biblically based too. So I like the fact that he keeps things. How should we treat our money? And
Yeah.
yeah, so that's good.
And so actually, one of the exciting things about us is I started doing the Dave Ramsey program, probably about a year ago or less, less than a year ago. And Isaac and I have worked really hard to follow the system. And we got to the point where, we've paid all of our debt other than our big debts, right? Like we still owe our mortgage and our student loans. But like we have 3 cars payment free. We have, no credit card debt, no medical debt, like all of that stuff had been paid off. And when I first started the Dave Ramsey program, it didn't look like there was an end in sight to that debt. Right.
Mhm.
So it's a great program that the fact that you take them and you help them even in that area of their life
Mhm.
is something that stands out, because I know there's a lot of network marketing companies out there, and many of them are great, but I don't know many of them that actually take people through and helping them with their finances before the person jumps into business. So that's amazing that you guys do that. It's going to be it could be what makes or breaks somebody, is them being able to have a hold on their financial success.
That's what I appreciated about this mentor group is their focus. Their focus is first on the other individual. And I think it was Zig Ziglar that said, you help enough people get what they want. You're going to get what you want. And I don't think he took that out of the Bible, but that is a biblical principle, as is, like, I love the book, The Go Giver. And that also addresses those same things. And while it's not written quoting Bible scripture, it definitely has those principles that I think are most valuable for most businesses. And like I said, it took me a while to get there, but I'm more at peace with this.
Good. That is so fantastic. So, you guys, we're going to go ahead and bring this call to an end because we schedule about 30 minutes for these calls and we're coming up on our 30-minute mark. I know that many of you still want to know much more about Kim. So, let's get Kim's contact information for anybody who still has questions or is just really intrigued with all the things Kim's saying, that you want to know more, you want to try some products, anything like that. Kim, what's the best way that people can reach you?
People can find me here on Facebook. My Facebook business page is Serving You with an exclamation mark because the emphasis is on you. And then it's the Halls Enterprises. So it's Serving You exclamation mark space the Halls Enterprises. I believe that's it. I can't see it right now. Or maybe they changed it. It is Serving You dot the Halls Enterprises. I apologize. My glasses don't read that up there. Or they can reach me at my email, which is ServingYOU.KimHall@gmail.com. And I would be glad to have conversations if someone's looking for anything in particular, glad to, help them maybe find a solution. And Barbara, I can't thank you enough for this. This is great. And I got to put a plug in for Barbara. I think I did on my page, but she just did a training for us called Tools, Tips, and Training for Your Business. And it was during the when CVID just started, because she knew that she has a heart for businesses and knew that they were, people were tail spinning, not knowing how are we going to do this. But with her knowledge, she shared that and taught us, made our heads kind of explode, but did that. And then also gave us lessons to apply what we had learned. So I can't thank you enough. And I think you know that I really do appreciate that a
I
lot.
do. Thank you, Kim. Thank you very much. Somebody also asked for your website. Can you also share your website, please?
The website is under Amway, so it's the https://amway.com. And then there's a slash, the Halls Enterprises. And Halls is with an S, even though, because there's 5 of us. So my last name is Hall, but it was all 5 of us when I started. So we didn't have any of the in-loves with us yet. So, so yeah, hope that made sense. And I think, Barbara, you're putting it down below, right?
I will. I'll put the link in the comments as well.
I
So,
appreciate that.
Kim,
Thank
this
you.
has been fantastic talking with you. Is there anything else we didn't cover that you'd like to share with the viewers today?
The only thing I think I'd like to share is this is crazy times for all of us. None of us have ever been here. And, you know, I look at my in-laws that are older than I am, and they've never been here. I love the ingenuity and the tenacity of especially people all over the world, but I'm going to focus on Americans and those that may be within our earshot here. Just to, I think if you start your day with thankfulness, I start mine with prayer and thankfulness because I'm thankful to God for all the things that come about. But starting with thankfulness, I think, I can't remember who it was. So it might have been John Maxwell said that you cannot have thankfulness and bitterness in your heart at the same time. You can't have contrasts in your heart and in your mind at the same time. You're going to focus on one or focus on the other. So it's up to us to choose. And I just love that I've seen so many people choosing to be thankful, choosing to come up with ideas, to be tenacious. So I would just say, keep going with that.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. You have a great weekend,
Thank
and I hope
you.
everyone who's watching has a great weekend. And you
Yes.
guys make sure to connect with Kim. You will be so glad that you did.
All right. Thank you so much, Barbara. Bye, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.